Hello, everybody. I'm realizing I don't think you were hearing me earlier. Thanks so much for jumping on. If you can hear me, my name's Ian. I'm definitely excited to walk you through the guide for agencies to use AudioGo, especially heading into Q4. Definitely see a lot of familiar names here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, as well as some new names. So really appreciate you jumping on. Excited to get into this. We'll give folks just 1 or 2 more minutes, but thank you all for being prompt and on time here. And if you have any questions during this, feel free to use the chat section or the question section. And if anyone wants to jump in and type in the chat just to make sure you're seeing my screen, we'd appreciate that. But any questions you have, you can drop it in chat, and then we'll have some time at the end of the presentation to do a Q&A. And yeah, if someone could type in the chat if you can hear me and see me, that would be great. Hi, Mark. Yeah, it looks like, okay, great. Thank you, Vinny, as well. Thanks, everyone, for confirming here. Appreciate that. All right, we'll give folks just 1 more minute here, and then definitely want to get started. For the sake of the folks who did jump on right at the top of the hour, we appreciate you jumping in. So we'll get started soon. All right, and is everyone able to see the screen here? Do you see the initial slide? Great, thank you, Vinny, for confirming you could see the slide here. Yes, this will be recorded. One thing to note too, you may have seen in the emails that we are offering some ad credit. So this will be recorded, but if you do want that ad credit, we do ask that you kind of stick around to the end to get that code. So appreciate you taking the time. But yes, this will be recorded, so we can revisit it later as well. All right. Well, we'll get started. Again, appreciate everyone for jumping in. Thank you for taking time out of your day here. Like I said, for those who maybe are just joining, my name's Ian. I've worked with probably a good portion of the folks on the call here, so it's great to see you all. And then for those that are new, yeah, we look forward to showing you all the information here. And you may have a respective representative here with AudioGo or with SiriusXM. And if you ever need more information, you can reach out to them. They'll help you out. Like I was mentioning, we will take questions throughout the presentation, so I'll keep an eye on those. But we'll also have some time towards the end. So if I don't get to your question, we will have some time at the end to kind of jump through it. But we'll get started. All right. And then, yes, Vinny, great question. We will send out a copy of the recording, so you'll have all this information to reference it back. All right. So here's what we'll talk about today. So we'll take an overview of AudioGo. We'll talk about the AudioGo network. We have a great network of publishers, and we've actually added a few new publishers that we want to highlight as well. Then we'll dive into the features on AudioGo. So we'll talk through the targeting, the reporting. We'll do a demo later on as well. We'll take a look at how we kind of stack up compared to the competition. And some other advertising mediums, particularly around audio. So we'll take a look at comparisons there. Then we'll dive really deep into AudioGo specifically for agencies. I know we have agencies on the call, and we really want to show you kind of the different tools, tips, and tricks that you can use as an agency. We'll talk about some of the recent developments that we have on the platform. We have some features that we released we want to make sure that everyone's aware of, as well as some new features coming out. So we'd love any feedback around that. Then we'll jump into the actual platform itself, do kind of a deeper dive. And then from there, we'll talk a little bit about Q4 and some different resources we have coming out and kind of how to prepare. I'm sure you've already probably placed some of your buys for clients, but want to make sure you have all the relevant information for Q4. Then we'll share that promotion code, like we mentioned, and then we'll save some time for a Q&A. All right. So AudioGo is an online ad management platform. We're the official online ad management platform of SiriusXM Media. Of course, we have SiriusXM, Pandora, as well as a lot of other publishers in the network. So this is the kind of official online ad buying tool for SiriusXM, and we're excited to show you all the great features and capabilities that the platform has. So in terms of our network, we have a very robust network. For those of you who have used the platform before, you probably know we have really great reach across the US as well as Canada. And you can see a lot of our highlighted publishers here. We have Pandora, SoundCloud, SiriusXM Podcast, we have iHeartRadio, we have TuneIn, a lot of other online radio groups as well that you can see here. We have 3 of the largest Spanish audio publishers. So if you ever need a Spanish campaign, we can run campaigns in Spanish, and we can help you make the ad. More on that in a bit here. But we've also added some new publishers, and we're kind of constantly adding to our publisher mix to make sure that we have as much premium inventory as we can. And so some of the new publishers that we wanted to highlight, Locked On. These are sports podcasts. So a lot of the leading sports podcasts are in the network. Some great opportunities, especially with football season. We have Audacy as well that joined the platform. You can think of that very similar to an iHeartRadio. They have a ton of coverage across a lot of the leading online radio stations. New York Public Radio, similar. It's an online radio group. Think of it almost like the PBS for New York City, so just additional coverage in the area, as well as Daily Motion. So we run ads there, both audio ads that run on their video and audio streaming properties. So ton of great opportunities here. This is one thing that we've heard from a lot of agencies that use the platform. One thing they love about AudioGO is we're very dependable in terms of fulfillment and fulfilling those budgets. So it really makes it easy for you to plan with clients, makes it easy to make sure that we will deliver based on the budgets that you set. And that really comes back to our great publisher mix. So a lot of great publishers in here. If you ever have questions around certain publishers, feel free to reach out to us and we'll help you out. So one thing about AudioGO in terms of our coverage, we often get asked from advertisers, hey, I really want to advertise on this particular radio station. Is that part of your mix? And we've been building this out recently. If you haven't seen it, we have a great tool on the platform on the homepage for a radio directory. Because as we start to work with more of our publishers, we realize we cover a majority of the leading online radio stations across the United States, as well as parts of Canada. So it's a really cool tool. You can go in there and you could type in a location and it'll show you which radio stations are available in our network that you can advertise through. So yeah, it really just demonstrates the coverage. As you can see on the right, a ton of these leading radio stations here. And again, these are the online kind of counterparts for the stations. And another, just as a reminder, a great thing about online is it's very targeted, right? At the end of the day, with radio, terrestrial radio, typically you advertise at a certain time on that station, and kind of whoever's tuning into that station here's the ad, which is great. But the thing about online radio is it's much more targeted, right? You could say, I want to advertise in this particular zip code to this age range, to business owners or to people at certain income levels. So it's really, really much more targeted, and it's more of that one-to-one kind of direct message. So. But yeah, check out that tool, really helpful to just kind of see the coverage that we have. And we've been very pleasantly surprised with the amount of coverage that our partners cover across the US and Canada. So now we'll jump into the features that we have available on AudioGO. So again, some of you might know this, but definitely want to give a good reminder here, because we have a lot of great targeting capabilities that some folks may miss. So in terms of targeting, we have a lot of options for location. You can do all across the US and Canada. You can do nationwide, all the way down to the zip code and everything in between there. So it could be a list of zip codes. If you have that from a client that you just want to upload, we have a tool where you can just upload that in a matter of seconds, get those zip codes in there. You can target by city, county, DMA, MSA, any combination of those as well. So a lot of great location targeting. For demographics, we get target by age and gender as well. So you can really hone in on your target audience. We also have device type targeting, PC and laptops, mobile, as well as smart speakers. So you can really hone that message based on the device that the user is listening on. On the streaming side, we also have behavioral segments. So we have over 300 plus of these on the streaming side of things. These are listeners' interests and status. So like I was mentioning, are they homeowners, business owners, renters? Are they parents, households with children, certain income levels? If they're in the market for a particular make and model of car, in the market for furniture, for insurance, you name it, we usually have targeting options that fit your needs. Oops, excuse me. And then for the on the podcast side, similar to the behavioral segments, we have our what we call predictive audiences. Very similar to the other segments. We have, I think, over 300 or 400 plus of those as well. So again, same kind of idea there. We can also target by genre on the streaming side. So we have 23 core music genres that you can select from. And then on the podcast side, you can target by podcast category. So is it a business podcast, science podcast, technology? You can even on the podcast side, I know we're kind of in the middle of our political season in the US. We have a variety of different options in terms of political affiliation, in terms of political party. So a lot of great targeting options there. You can, day parting is available in the platform, so you can run ads based on the day and time of the week as well. For podcasts, you can choose the ad position. So that'll be before, during, or after the show. So you can decide on when that's going to run. I mentioned the device type targeting. We also have language targeting as well. Today, that's English or Spanish. So you can run ads in Spanish, and we can actually create an ad for you in Spanish read by a native Spanish speaker. And we also have display retargeting built into the platform as well. So I think a lot of you here take advantage of that. It's a great way to generate more clicks. We understand that clients are looking for clicks, even though with audio, that may not always be the best measurement of success for an audio campaign, but this will really help drive those clicks. And what happens here, anyone that hears the ad, later on that day or the next day when they're just browsing online, will be able to show those display banners that you upload through things like Google Display Network. So kind of, multi-channel marketing with one click of the button. So makes it really, really comprehensive. And again, that really generates clicks. We usually see about a 4x increase in the number of clicks when that's enabled. So great to drive website traffic. And again, that's just a quick summary of the targeting. We'll do a deeper dive. But I absolutely encourage all of you to, after this, go into the AudioGO platform, click that create new campaign button, take a look at the targeting options, see what's available. If you haven't used the tool, you could kind of map out a plan for a client in a matter of minutes. So those are our targeting options. Next, we'll talk about reporting. So we're always working to improve our reporting. I know some folks on the call have been here since day one for AudioGO, and I'm sure they would agree that we've come a long way. We're continuing to add to this, so we're always making it better. But we have very, very comprehensive reporting in the platform today. So a few different options. You can kind of look at your high-level dashboard view. Again, we'll take a look at this live on the demo. But you'll be able to see everything on a daily basis. If you click into the campaign, you'll get that campaign report. You could see the spend on a daily basis. You can see the impressions, listeners, clicks, everything broken out by day. You'll also be able to see how you're pacing in terms of your budget, in case the targeting may be a bit narrow, or you'll see a low pace message. So you can always reach out to us if you have questions there. We can help you optimize the campaign. We are here to help you out, and I'll touch more on this later. But you'll be able to see the budget and kind of what you're pacing towards. You'll be able to see the start and end dates that you have set for the campaign and how much time is left for your campaign. You'll get a total number and a daily number of impressions. Same thing goes for clicks, as well as unique listeners reached. We do have a pixel, which I know some of you are taking advantage of, and I understand this kind of depends on the client, but we can track visits to a website as well. So if you're able to upload, it's a short snippet of code, it's free to use. You can upload it to the client's landing page, and then anyone that hears the ad, whether they click on banners or not, if they visit that website, we're able to track that conversion. So you'll see total and unique conversions as well. So some additional attribution reporting that'll help you track success for the campaign. You will get a breakdown of demographic targeting as well. Really anything that you select for targeting, you'll get a breakdown. You'll get a breakdown for location, age ranges, gender, device type, as well as if you choose those behavioral segments or predictive audiences, you'll get a very comprehensive breakdown of kind of where you're getting the most engagement, where we're delivering more of your ads, which is really helpful in understanding, you know, kind of who's engaged with the content. Also helps you optimize future campaigns as well, to kind of double down on certain listeners and make informed decisions. We also have podcast show level reporting. So on the podcast side, you'll be able to see which shows your ads run on. As I mentioned with our network, we have half of the top 50 podcasts in our network, a ton of other great shows, and you'll be able to see that. And that's some great things that you can share with the client to let them know that they're showing up on, you know, some of the leading podcasts and their message is getting heard by a very engaged audience. One other thing to point out for the reporting, we do have player level reporting. This is both on the streaming and podcast side. I will say I think it's particularly beneficial on the podcast side. What will happen here is you'll be able to see kind of which podcast player they're using. And while Apple Podcasts and Spotify aren't, you know, technically in our network, because of the way they source podcasts, our ads do show on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify podcasts. So you'll often see that in the podcast player. Again, another great thing to highlight to clients, letting them know that they're getting that exposure across a lot of the leading platforms where people listen to podcasts. So that's what we have available in the reporting. We also have the ability to create custom reports. So we'll touch a little bit on this in the demo. And some of you, I think, use this very often. But it's a great way to kind of cut up the data in different ways. So you can set up a custom report. It could be a recurring report that you set up for future campaigns over the course of 3 months or so, and you're able to just cut up the data in different ways. You can select different dimensions that you want to look at. If you want to look at, for example, clicks based off location, clicks based off publisher, a lot of different options in there, and we'll touch on this in a moment as well. But now that we're able to run multiple ad creatives with campaigns, up to 3 different ads, you are able to see the performance and different dimensions across each ad set as well. So just always trying to get the reporting more granular and more telling for clients. And this is definitely an area where if you have feedback on our reporting, we'd love to hear it. We're always working on making it better. And in fact, coming up should be in the next quarter, if not Q1, we are going to be adding more to the reporting. So you'll have more reporting in platform. We'll have an updated version of the custom reporting just to give you even more data to help demonstrate to the client that you're running successful campaigns on their behalf. So that's the reporting section there. Some additional features, and again, a lot of you are using this today, but for the new folks here, we realize that not everyone has a professional studio recorded audio ad ready to go. If you do have those capabilities, or you have a partner that you work with, you can upload your own ad. That's no problem. Ads are 30 seconds in length at maximum. You could do 15 seconds or anything below that, but it is that 30-second spot. If you don't have anything on hand, or you maybe are in a little bit of a pinch and need something quick, we have everything that you need. So we can use our produced voice ad. So that's a professional, human read, professional voice actor ad. You just give us the script, give us the details of the ad, and the instructions on how you want the tone and energy. You can choose from different background tracks options, as well as the different voice types. And we'll produce that ad for you, usually in the same business day, if not 2 business days. And it's only $10. So these are usually come at a price point of $150, $200, but we're happy to offer this for you. You could use those for as many campaigns as you'd like. And if you need anything revised, maybe the ad came back with some slight mispronunciation or something like that, we're happy to revise the ads for you for free. So it's a great tool. If you haven't used it, take a look at it. And then this newer option, synthetic voice. So I know that AI is everywhere these days, but the synthetic voice ad is a AI generated voice. They sound really, really good, basically indistinguishable at this point. There's some great ads, and this is something that you could produce for free in a matter of seconds. So same idea, you drop in the script. In this case, you'll be able to choose from a list of different voice options, and you could preview those, as well as the background track, and then you just click generate ad, and that is generated, like I said, in a matter of seconds, and then you could upload that spot. So really easy to use, and we have some great instructions on kind of how to use the tool in case you need help there. But we have a comprehensive options here in terms of creating the audio spot for you. Another thing to call out with AudioGO is the low barriers to entry. So we understand as an agency that, with clients, sometimes budgets may change, or maybe you work with some smaller clients that, don't have as much budget available to spend on audio. We have you covered. You can get started for as little as $250. And like we were touching on, that ad creative, only $10. So really make it easy to tap into this premium publisher mix and get your ads heard on a premium online radio station, podcast, and streaming audio channels. We also have flexible payment options. So generally speaking, AudioGO is done with a card on file. So you put a card on file, you're billed at different payment thresholds. As an agency, we understand that you might need an adjusted payment threshold that might need to be lifted. We can create custom thresholds for you. We have the ability to do upfront payments. If you have a client, for example, we often see this in the nonprofit sector, where folks might need to get the ad spend off their books by a certain date. So a lot of different options to work with you and help you, get campaigns set up for your clients. We also have the ability to do invoice payments. Usually comes at certain spend thresholds. But if for some reason we're not able to use a card, please reach out to us. We'll speak with you, and we can see if we can help transition that to invoice billing, which is done on net 30 terms with an ACH or wire transfer. So again, the idea here, it's really easy to enable your clients regardless of their budget, regardless of their needs. So we really make it easy to tap into this. All right, so we wanted to do some comparisons to some of the competition and some other platforms out there. So a lot of you on this call might use Spotify Ad Studio. We think it's a great tool as well, but did want to highlight some of the main differences between AudioGO. First and foremost is the ad-enabled audience. So going back to that publisher mix, part of the benefit of working with AudioGO is that we aggregate publishers, which gives you a ton more reach across the US and Canada. So over 164 plus million ad-based listeners monthly, compared to the 51.3 million ad-based listeners on the Spotify platform. Again, you get placement across a lot of different publishers. We have a lot of different use cases. And it allows you to just reach more of your target audience regardless of where they're streaming. As I touched on before with the targeting, we have a variety of different options, over 500 plus interest and behavior options across our streaming and podcast campaigns, with location layered in, age, gender, device type, compared to some of the more basic demographic targeting options on the Spotify side. For campaign types, we do have streaming or podcast. So you do need to make that selection when you're setting up a campaign. But this is definitely a benefit. This allows you to really optimize each campaign for that listener experience, as well as make sure that you're reaching the right targets. We have a lot of advertisers who will do a streaming campaign along with a podcast campaign to really dive in and make sure that we're reaching as many listeners for the client's target audience as possible. Another thing to call out as well is our support. I think a lot of folks have mentioned this before. I know with other platforms out there, it's usually just a contact form. It's kind of difficult to get to another person. And if you have a question, it can kind of take a while to get an answer back. But we pride ourselves on offering great support. You can always email us at hello@AudioGO. We have an in-app chat that you can use just to reach out to us on the fly if you have questions while you're building a campaign, or if you see something in the reporting that you have questions on, a representative will get back to you, as well as the ability for us to you can send in a contact form, and then we also have account manager services. So a lot of you on this call have representatives that you work with, myself included. If you ever need help with anything, please leverage your representative, your specialist. They're there to help you out. And we do have the ability, while AudioGO out of the box, you can do it yourself, and that's a great benefit of the tools. You can go in, set up campaigns in a matter of minutes, see live reporting. We do have the ability to offer more of a managed service, depending on your client's needs and budgets. So that's something where we can actually work with you directly. We can help build out the campaigns, help you optimize campaigns, and really take that workload off of your plate and make it easy to run campaigns for your clients. So if you ever have questions about that, again, if you don't have a representative today, email us at hello@AudioGO, and we can connect you with someone to help you optimize and run great campaigns. So that's kind of the comparison with compared to Spotify. Another comparison here is to radio. So again, there's nothing wrong with traditional radio, and in fact, a ton of folks advertise on it. But one thing that we've kind of noticed when we speak with a lot of our clients, once we kind of talk through their needs and what they're looking for, usually the online radio seems to be a bit of a better option. Reason being is it's much more targeted. So on the traditional radio, right, we don't really have any target audience targeting capabilities. Sure, the station might have a general idea of who's tuning in and who's listening, but at the end of the day, it's a one-to-many broadcast. Whoever's tuning in to 102.7 at 3 p.m., that's who's going to hear the ad. It could be me, my brother, my sister, right? We just don't really know. Whereas with AudioGO, we can be very, very specific using all those targeting options we talked through, and you can really hone in and make sure that you're reaching as many of those listeners as possible. For reporting, again, it's all real time. You log in, can look at the reporting anytime you'd like. You can download reports, schedule those custom reports. On the traditional radio side, usually this is limited to either the middle and the end of the campaign, so you kind of get a campaign wrap up, but you aren't able to see things in real time. And a big part of this as well is this will help you optimize campaigns. If maybe we're not fulfilling as much budget on a certain campaign, you could shift that budget, or you can adjust your campaign on the fly. So that real-time reporting really helps you do that. Another thing here as well is, of course, the fact that we have the ability to run banners that they can click on, right? So we're able to track a lot more listener interactions and really drive more of that activity. Folks can click on the banner ads. We can use that pixel to track how many website visits we have, along with that display retargeting that's built into the tool. So that's a huge benefit. On the other side, of course, there's not really an option for folks to click, or can't really track what happens after we deliver that ad. The next piece would be placements. So it's very easy. Again, you just fill in the target audience information, and then our ads will run across thousands of online radio stations to reach the right listeners, as well as on the biggest music and podcast audio platforms. Whereas on the other side, of course, it's usually set up on a particular station or a group of stations at a particular time during the day. Again, you do have that capability in AudioGO. You can choose if you want to reach folks during peak drive times, for example. You can block off those hours to make sure that your ads are only delivered there. But having that reach, having those additional stations really helps you reach more of the target audience that you're looking for. Then the last one would be around pricing. So, we work with virtually any budget. You only pay for ads that we deliver. You can start and stop campaigns at any time. A lot of flexibility there. Which is a little bit more rigid on the traditional radio side. There's usually kind of higher minimum budget, and you have to pick certain flight times, and there's different prices for that. So we really make things flexible. So those are some of the comparisons there. Next, we want to talk about our agency program. So some of you folks, this is relatively new. Some of you folks are in the program today, which is great. We absolutely encourage everyone on this call to inquire, to look into this. We feel there's some great benefits here. And really the whole idea, of course, is we want to support you as best as possible and enable you as best as possible to run great campaigns for your clients. That's really it. And you've probably seen some of these programs elsewhere, but just some details on the program. It's free to join. There's no monthly cost or anything like that. And it really gives you some additional added benefits as well. So we'd love to have you in the program. We think there's some great tools and features and benefits here. And that's broken up into these different buckets across incentives, recognition, access, and support. And you'll see those buttons at the bottom as well. This will highlight to prospective clients and current clients that, hey, I'm a digital audio expert, I'm an AudioGO expert, and you're a preferred partner with us. So in terms of the benefits around the program, here are some of the main ones here. So I know I mentioned access, product betas. So this is something that we'd love to get in the hands of our trusted and preferred partners when we have new tools coming out and new features. We'd love to get your feedback. We'd love for you to test it out and let us know, hey, did we build this in the right way? Are we missing anything? Is this new feature beneficial to you and your clients? For a lot of the folks in the program today, you've probably seen some of this come up. But we're absolutely going to be rolling out more and more as we release new features. Dedicated support. So even if you're not in the program, you can always email in, or you could use our chat tool. But as a part of the program, you will get more dedicated support. You'll have an account manager that can help you out. You'll always have that ability to use our chat tool or write in. but we really will be there to help you every step of the way. And like I mentioned, kind of depending on budgets and everything, we can offer that managed service. So we can kind of help you set up campaigns on behalf of clients, optimize them as you go, and just really anything you need in terms of support. If you have any feedback around features, like, hey, I'm in the reporting, I'd like to see X, Y, and Z, reach out to your account manager, and we'll talk with our product team. I kind of touched on this earlier, but we do have additional billing options as well built into the platform. So particularly for our partners, we will have the option for invoice billing. So again, this kind of depends on budgets, but if you do need to switch over, that's something that we can offer as a preferred partner. You will have pricing incentives and promotions. So this is something that we're really excited about. And for everyone on the call, one thing we're doing right now, and if you haven't heard about this yet, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to your representative. But we're able to offer $500 in ad credit for any new client that you bring onto the platform in Q4, regardless of their budget. If they run a $300 campaign, we're still willing to offer that ad credit. So that's one thing that we're doing now. We're going to be rolling out a lot more of that. And then pricing incentives as well. So this is something where we're, again, depending on spend, what we would do is set up quarterly spend targets that we both agree upon. And then from there, we're able to offer reduced CPM. So we can get that reduced for you. So again, if that's something of interest, please reach out to us. We'd love to talk with you more about what we can set up as those quarterly targets and get you those reduced rates to get even more impressions delivered on behalf of your clients. We looked at those buttons earlier. That's that recognition piece. So you'll be able to be a partner as well as a premier partner with us. So we can talk through which level makes sense for you. We do have the ability to offer notarized scripts. We understand that a lot of clients tap into co-op funding or different marketing funds from like their corporate or national contacts. A good example of this would be like auto dealerships. We do this all the time. We're happy to offer that to make sure that they get access to those funds. White label sales collateral. So if you ever have a need for a non-branded deck or a one-sheeter or whatever it is, let us know. We can send you some of that collateral. We think of course, this is really just helping enable you to better sell audio to your clients and make them understand the benefit of using the medium, how it really ties in with the rest of the marketing mix. So I'm happy to provide that if you're interested. And then lastly, and one that we see as kind of one of the bigger benefits, is the partner directory. So when you're in the program, as you can imagine, we have thousands of local businesses and other folks come to us, say, hey, I'd love to run a campaign. I just don't know where to start. I've never done this before. Can you connect me with someone who can help me? And that's where we'd love to send them to our preferred partners. So we have a directory. It's actually live now. So what can happen is folks can come in, look for different partners in the directory. They can also see all the different services that you offer as an agency in case they're also looking for video or social media marketing or other digital placements, and all the other services that you offer. They'll be able to see that and they could get in contact with you directly. So we look at it as sort of lead generation for our preferred partners. So those are some of the benefits of the program. Again, we'd love to have you in it. If you haven't already, feel free to reach out to us. There's also a form on the website where you can get enrolled. So absolutely encourage you to get that so you can get access to a lot of these benefits. All right, so just before we jump into the platform itself, did want to take a look at some of the newly released features. Some of these, most folks probably know about these that have used the platform, but just in case, we wanted to make sure that we covered this. So we talked about the synthetic voice option. It's a great tool, makes it really easy to create really great quality ads on the fly. Our agency dashboard, if you don't have this yet, if you're an agency that's using the tool, please reach out to us. We'd love to get this enabled for you. We'll take a quick look on this on the demo as well. But really the benefit here is you're able to filter everything by client. So there's an advertiser tab on the top left. You set up your clients there, and then we're able to filter the reporting by client, the billing by client. If you needed to, you could use different unique payment methods per client. So a lot of different options with that agency dashboard. Same with the reporting on the customer reports. You can really filter everything by client. So it's a great tool. We've had really great feedback on how it makes it easier to manage everything. So if you don't have that enabled yet, please let us know and we'll work with you to get that set up. Multiple ad creative. So as I mentioned, we are able to do up to 3 different ads on AudioGO today. And so that's a newer feature. Definitely take advantage of it. Let us know if you have feedback. Brand suitability. So this is on the podcast side. This really helps protect clients if they have aversion to any certain topics, or there's maybe some categories they want to avoid. If there's a heightened sensitivity, you can choose those options and make sure that we kind of avoid that content. Third-party pixel as well. This is for folks with the agency dashboard. So we have our built-in, our pixel that we've created, but if you want to use a different provider, you can absolutely do that with us. There's a section, you just enable it, and then you can drop in the link to that tool in the campaign, and that will allow you to track conversions. And then lastly, player reporting, like we touched on, primarily for podcasts. It's a great benefit. So upcoming features, and actually one that is just getting rolled out today or very soon, the audience guide enhancements. So we're going to be revamping the audience guide. I think a lot of folks here will be happy to hear that we do have now we will include the frequency directly built into the audience guide. So you'll see that estimated frequency, again, just helping you plan and make proposals for clients. The campaign dashboard updates. So these are coming out soon. This is just going to be a revamp of our reporting. It'll be more tied directly to the goals that you have set in the platform as well. So just, again, additional reporting features in platform. We're also going to be working on the ability to have some recommended targeting based on the URL that you enter in, based on the industry the client's in. It'll preload some targeting options to make things easier for you, and just we'll show you what we recommend. And then lastly, we are working on the ability to include your agency margin within the platform. So we think this will really help, working through billing with clients, and you'll just be able to include that markup directly into the platform. So those are some of the newly released features and the features we have coming up. Next, what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at the platform itself. So again, this is the AudioGO platform. If you're on the call and you don't have an account, please sign up on the top right. It's free to get started. You can start poking around and seeing the different options that we have available. But did want to highlight and just walk through how you set up a campaign with us here. So you can disregard this set preferred CPM section. I see that since I'm an administrator. Again, if we do want to talk through some of the capability for reduced rates, join that program. We'd love to have that conversation with you. But from here, you basically fill out this form. So we make it super easy. Again, we do offer that managed service, so we can help with this part of the process. But we feel it's very easy, especially for folks like yourself who are used to these tools. So you drop in the campaign name. That's just for your record keeping. You can choose the start and end dates of campaigns. And one thing I should mention as well is today with the agency dashboard, you are able to run campaigns up to 180 days. So we have extended that campaign length. We have day parting built into the platform. Going back, if you wanted to just reach peak drive times, you could block these off however you see fit. Next, you'll choose the campaign type. So we have streaming or podcast. So for this demonstration, we'll just take a look at the streaming side of things. Next are the campaign goals. This is a great update that we made recently. So what you can do here is kind of choose, and what we'll do on the back end is kind of optimize delivery based on your client's needs. So it'll default to brand awareness. That's usually what we recommend. This is going to prioritize frequency so that the listener hears the ad multiple times, and that's really when we usually start to see those conversions. Brand reach. This is more for like a PSA. Oftentimes, like for example, health-related clients or medical facilities will want to do a PSA in their area, and they want to prioritize reaching as many unique listeners as possible. So that's a great goal for that. Website traffic, if that's the main priority for the client, you can enable this. It's going to make sure that we deliver on placements that has a clickable banner, right? So think mobile devices, laptops. We'll avoid smart speakers as an example. And then this is also going to enable display retargeting. Of course, you can do retargeting with any goal, but that's just an example of how it works with website traffic. And then we have conversions. So if you want to prioritize, again, website traffic and visits to a website that has that pixel, we recommend using the conversion option. And that'll kind of automatically enable that pixel so you can copy that code. And then at the bottom, we have store traffic, where this is a feature we're working on to help with optimization. So it's relatively newer, but the idea in the long run, it's going to kind of optimize store traffic and actual visits to a physical location. So that's the campaign goals. Next is the creative section. If you have the audio ad, you can just upload it on the left side there. Again, audio spots are 30 seconds in length. If you don't have an ad, no problem at all. You click request ad here. You can use the synthetic voice option. It's free, super quick, very high quality ad. Or you can do the produced voice option. So that's with that professional voice actor. And for the produce ads, we can create ads in English or Spanish as well. So we can make a Spanish ad for you. We just ask that that script is in Spanish. But you just drop in a script, choose a voice actor, choose a background track, any instructions, and then you click submit. It's only $10. We'll get it back to you very quickly. So that's requesting an ad. The next section here is the display retargeting. So again, I know a lot of you take advantage of this. We highly recommend it for agencies, for their clients, to boost engagement. You turn this on, and then you could upload banners and upload the destination URL. You'll see how to adjust the budget in the top there. You can scroll to the bottom and just adjust your total budget. So you don't have to do the backwards math or anything like that. And it does come at a cost. It does increase the budget by 20%. And that 20% is what gets put aside for the display retargeting. We absolutely recommend it. Most of the campaigns where we get feedback that really performed well do include the display retargeting. So definitely recommend that. At the bottom here, and really most important, is your targeting options. So like we talked through, we have a few different options here. High-level options include location, gender, age group, and device type. For location, like I mentioned, if you have a list of zip codes, you bulk upload them here. Otherwise, you could start typing in what you'd like to target. You'll see the relevant options show up, and then you can make your selections. So while you're going through this, let's say, for example, we want to target business owners in the New York area. You could adjust the age range, the gender, the device type, and then down at the bottom, we have those behavioral segments. So you'll see on the right, the audience guide is dynamic. It does update whenever you make different selections. So definitely keep an eye on that. And you'll see, for example, if we type in business owners, and again, we have a variety of targeting options in here. You make that selection, and then on the far right side, you'll see how it updates, and it'll let you know where you stand in terms of the frequency and where you're at in terms of deliverability. Our system will naturally nudge you towards about a 3 to 6x frequency. That's kind of what we recommend. And you'll always be in the know in terms of, is the targeting too narrow? Is it too broad? And we have some recommendations here at the bottom. So keep an eye on that while you're building it out. Again, on the streaming side, we do have the genre targeting options here. So you can click in, there's about 23 different core music genres there. Last couple of things on this form, the pixel. So if you want that enabled, turn this button on, copy the code, and all you need to do is place it in the body of the landing page that you'd like to track. And we have help there if you ever need help installing the pixel on behalf of a client. And then lastly is the budget. So if you set up the account, you can either add your payment method here or in the billing details section, and then you can customize your budget here or choose from these options that we have pre-enabled. So I know I kind of touched on everything here, but as you can see, really easy to get a campaign set up. It takes a matter of minutes. If you want to just save your progress and come back to it later, click Save Draft. Otherwise, if you're ready to go, you have the audio ad in there, the display banners in there, everything's all set up, the targeting looks good. You just hit schedule. It goes through a quick quality check on our side, and then everything goes live at the date that you set for the start date. So that's really how easy it is to set up a campaign with us. And then in terms of the reporting, I'd love to show you an example of what you'll see in platform. So for the reporting, this is an example of a campaign that is running. And so you'll be able to see anytime you log in, you can get a high-level overview of the campaign, if it's running, on track, how much of the budget we spent so far out of the total, how much time is left, impressions delivered, unique listeners reached, and then a couple conversion metrics on the right there, the listen-through rate and the click-through rate. So you'll be able to see all that at the high level. If you actually click into the campaign itself, you'll get a ton more details here. So you'll be able to see everything on a daily basis. You'll still get those high-level metrics at the top. You'll be able to see impressions, listeners, clicks, and spend across each day. One other thing to point out, you can always download these CSV files for each of these charts. It'll get you some more details. For example, here, if you want to see the display impressions broken out by the retargeting versus companion impressions, you'll be able to download this and see that. You can also use our custom reporting tool to send CSV files to you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, however you'd like it. From here, you'll get a breakdown across all the other targeting that you select. So you can view this as states, cities, and zip codes. You'll see the different areas where the ads are have high engagement and where more ads are being delivered. You'll get a breakdown across device types. Same goes for the age ranges, as well as gender. And then at the bottom here, depending on the targeting that you choose, you'll see some additional options. So if you choose the behavioral segments, you'll see those in here as well. This example is using genre targeting. So you'll get a breakdown across the different genres of where the ads are running. Then you will also get a publisher breakdown. So you'll be able to see where your ads are running and which publishers they're running on. So you can see that below here: Pandora, iHeart, Adobe, SoundCloud. And then you'll get a player breakdown as well. So this is the actual audio player that the listener is using. Can kind of help you understand if they're streaming on a Apple device, if they're listening on the Chrome or the web player or the mobile player. So you get a breakdown here. Again, this is really most beneficial for the podcast campaigns. Like I mentioned, that Apple and Spotify podcast, you'll see that in the player breakdown. So that's the reporting in a nutshell. Like I mentioned, you do also have the ability to create custom reports. So you click here, click create report, and then you'll be able to see set up the reports. You can do a one-time report for historical campaigns, or set up a recurring report for which campaigns you want that shown for. You can choose the template, audio report with spend or without spend. I know a lot of folks use the without spend report template to share with clients. You can schedule it for how long you want the campaign, the report to run. And then from here, you can choose whether you want to see it daily, weekly, or monthly. So you decide that cadence, and you can send it to a variety of different emails if you want to share it with your team or anything like that. So that's the reporting. And then one last thing I wanted to kind of point out here, specific to the agency dashboard. So when you have that dashboard enabled, on the far left side, you'll see the advertiser section here. You can click there, and then the top right, click create advertiser. All you need is and this is really just for your record keeping, but the client name, client URL, and then select the industry that they're in. So we have a lot of different options in here. You hit add new advertiser, you'll go back, and in this section, you'll be able to see all the advertisers, and then the reporting will all be broken out by each individual advertiser. So you'll be able to see that. It keeps a really clean view in the dashboard, help you filter by billing per client as well as reporting. So that's the platform demo. Again, I know I kind of breezed through that, but did want to just kind of highlight how quick and easy it is to set campaigns up, get that live reporting, and get everything that you need. So just to round things out, so we have some time for questions for Q4. So coming up, I know we're basically in the, Q4 is a few days away. But we do have some great things coming, some great tools to help you throughout Q4 and into Q1 of next year. We have a holiday guide on the way, so keep an eye out for an email with that. It'll give you some stats and some different information around holiday advertising with AudioGO and best practices and what type of verticals that we normally see. Of course, coming up throughout October, political ads. So we do accept political ads on AudioGO. We just ask for that paid for by disclaimer at the end, but we can absolutely accept that. And again, we have a lot of great targeting capabilities to reach the right folks. So if you have any clients that have that, maybe it's a candidate or maybe it's a particular issue or an initiative, we can help there. And then lastly, like we talked about, the agency program and all the different benefits there. So we'd love to get you in for Q4. Please reach out to us if you haven't heard about it, and we'd happily show you all the details there. So again, thank you all for sticking here. We do have time for some questions, so I'll jump through those now. But for taking the time out of your day, we'd love to offer you $250 in ad credit here. So you can use this code, that's AGQ4Web250. We'll share this in a follow-up email, but feel free to grab that code, go to the billing detail section of your account, and from here, you're able to just upload that and you get $250 towards the next campaign for your clients. So thank you all again for the time. Now I'm going to jump into some of these questions here. and I'll do my best to get to all of them. But of course, if there's any questions you have or anything that you need, please do reach out to us at hello@audiogo.com or use that chat tool in the platform. We're here to help. So first question that we have here. All right. It looks like Todd, yeah, asking about the station search feature. Yeah, so that's a great question. That's on the homepage. So just go to audiogo.com. I believe it's under our audience network section. You'll see a section for radio. Click there, and then you could search through the different stations. Gary mentioned about the listen through rate. Yes, yeah, that's built into that reporting there. You can use that, the custom report, or within our reporting, and you'll be able to get that listen through rate. And agree, it's definitely valuable for clients. Really shows, and that's really one thing about audio as a medium is we naturally have really high engagement, right? If you think about, like, for example, the McDonald's jingle or the $5 footlong from Subway jingle, right? We can literally hear that, and that really, I think, shows the power of audio as a medium. So yeah, we can definitely track the listen through rate. Cresta, it looks like you asked about a breakdown by partner in the reporting. Yeah, as you saw, we do have that publisher breakdown. So you'll see that in platform. Next question from Todd is around the percentage of downloaded podcast. Yeah, it's a great question. So our ads do run on downloaded podcast. It runs both on streaming and the downloaded podcast, and so that ad will actually be in that download. In terms of the percentage breakdown, I think it's normally pretty even split. But the great thing about AudioGO is regardless if they're streaming the podcast or if they download it, that ad will be there. Next question around API access for the reporting. Yeah, it's a great question. For now, if you do use different reporting platforms like a TapClicks or Looker or Google Data Studio, we recommend using our custom reports. Though a lot of folks have set up email integrations that it'll just automatically email and ingest directly into that platform. But we are working on an API. So we're working towards that, a reporting API that'll allow you to more seamlessly connect to the reporting tool. So that's coming up. Keep an eye out. For example, that's a great example of the product betas for the agency program. Is there a tool to create proposals for clients? Yeah, another great question. So as of today, that's something that you could work with us to help you build. You could tap your account manager, your specialist, they'll help you do that. We're working on providing something that'll be a nice, easy download that you can set up the targeting, quickly download a PDF and share it with clients. So that's also on the roadmap. So that's coming out soon. But as of today, we're here to help you, or you could download you could take the information that you selected, just highlight those, the reach and frequency that you're seeing in the audience guide, and a lot of folks use that as a proposal today. Next question, how does the platform differentiate from website visits and conversions? Yeah, it's also a good question. So the way that we kind of differentiate that really comes down to clicks. So of course, if a listener hears the ad, they see a banner, they click on it, we're able to track that click. And so you'll see that in the click reporting. And then in terms of conversions, that will include folks that click on the banners, but it'll also include those who didn't click on a banner, heard the ad, and visited the website. So you'll be able to compare those two metrics to get an idea of how many people clicked versus how many people are just visiting the website. And while audio is naturally a great kind of top of funnel part of your marketing mix, and we've seen a lot of folks who have mentioned that when they're running an audio campaign, they see all their other channels perform at a higher rate. So definitely something to do is holistically take a look at how it's affecting your other channels. But part of having the pixel and the clicks, that does help with that attribution. And we've actually been pleasantly surprised at what we've seen in terms of conversion, the number of people actually visiting that website after they hear an ad. So that really helps you demonstrate to the client that it works for bottom of the funnel marketing activities as well. All right. I think there's a question around if you want a certain publisher mix. So in general, AudioGO does run across our publisher network, but we really built it out to be more of an audience buy. The way that we kind of look at it, right, is whether they're streaming on Pandora or if they're streaming on iHeart, or regardless of where they're streaming, if they're the right listener that fits the right target audience for the client, we feel we want to reach them. So that's kind of why we built it out this way. It's more of that audience buy. And again, we have all those great targeting tools to make sure that you're reaching the right listeners. Had a question specifically around health insurance agency owners marketing health insurance on AudioGO. Yeah, good question. We've definitely seen a variety of insurance agents and health insurance advertisers use the tool. I know during open enrollment, which is actually coming up, we see a lot of that. So Donald, feel free to reach out to us at hello@audiogo.com and we can help you with that particular campaign. Lisa had a great question. Is there a full list of the interest or status so that we can see that? Yes, in our FAQ section, there's a full list of all the targeting capabilities. And if you reach out to us at hello@audiogo.com in case there's you don't have all the podcast targeting options in there, let us know. We'll be able to send you a full list so that you have everything. And yeah, I know in that demo, I kind of quickly showed the options, but yeah, if you go into the create campaign, you could scroll through that. You'll see we have hundreds of different options available. Great. Let's see, a couple more questions here. Yeah, can you use the same ads produced on new campaigns? Absolutely. You can use them for as many campaigns as you'd like. You could just quickly and easily duplicate the campaign that has the ad, and then you could just adjust the details and run the campaign there. Sounds like we have some folks mentioning they'd love to get their hands on the white label materials. We'll happily share that as well so that you have it. If you want to just reach out to hello@AudioGO, we'll make sure you have everything that you need there. Let's see. Some other questions here. Yeah, in terms of expanding analytics available for click details. Yes, so that's part of that custom reporting. You'll be able to see clicks across location, across publisher, across the different demographic targeting or segments. So you're able to get that granular details in the custom reporting today. You just build one of those reports and choose clicks as a dimension, and it'll show that to you. All right. See. Yeah, so we're talking about the another question from Mitch is around the agency analytics integrations. Yeah, we're working on that reporting API. For now, we recommend using that custom report. You can make an email integration that quickly and easily uploads those CSV files to the respective platforms. And then last question, where do we go to get started with AudioGO? Yeah, so just audiogo.com. You could sign up, create an account. And that's actually, I'm glad you called this out. When you're signing up for an account, there is an option to select that you're an advertising agency, and that will automatically enable that agency dashboard. So go to audiogo.com, get signed up, and then just select yes that you're an agency. You'll have that agency dashboard. You can start building out those views for advertisers that will allow you to separate everything per client. Yes, Donald, it sounds like you had a question around the if you have examples of audio ads for health insurance agencies. We do. Please reach out to us over email at hello@audiogo.com, and we will happily help you do that. Looks like maybe the last couple questions here. How do I convert existing account to an agency? Yeah, we can do that for you. So please email us, and we'll get your account updated to the agency dashboard so you have all those features. Jen asked about Canada. Yeah, Jen, great question. So real quickly here, you can run ads in Canada. We run on a lot of the premium publishers there as well. That's Stingray, iAdobe, Chorus, and some other Canadian publishers. But think of it very similar to our US offering. We have a ton of different targeting options, postal code instead of zip code. You can target by city, their counterpart of a DMA, and our behavioral segments and all that are included as well. So you all the same great targeting you see in the US, you can run in Canada. And you don't have to change your account or anything like that. You just set up a campaign and start selecting those Canadian targeting options. One question is, can we sell AudioGO and create side hustle income? Yeah, I mean, especially as an agency, this is a tool that a lot of folks position as, hey, I have access into a lot of premium publishers. If you work with us, we can place buys for you. And that's totally fine by us. You can use us as like your white label audio solution to give your clients great reach. So absolutely, and we're happy to help you do that so that you can sell the tool to your clients as their streaming music, podcast, and online radio tool. Last question here. I know we're over time, but thank you all for staying. where do we get details on the new client bonus for Q4? Yeah, great question. So like I mentioned, that's $500 for any new client that you bring on. All you need to do is send us a quick email, let us know you brought on a new client. We'll look at your account and we'll just upload that ad credit for you. If you have a account specialist or account manager, reach out to them. They have this information for you as well. If not, you can email us at hello@audiogo.com. Awesome. Well, a ton of great questions. And again, really appreciate you all sticking on this far. Definitely take use of that promotion code. So you'll absolutely get that after this. You'll get in a follow-up email for attending. So thank you for taking the time. And again, if you have any other questions, if anything comes up, please reach out to us. We're here to help you and really appreciate your time. So thank you everyone for joining and have a great rest of your day.